الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه وأزواجه أجمعين. أما بعد. This is a struggle that was started by Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taimiyyah, the major scholar of Islam who spent his life calling to the Quran and Sunnah and to go back to the way of the earlier generations of Islam, when he realized what the Alawi, Nusayri, Shia were doing in Syria during his time. He was horrified to go to their areas and find that they had pigs inside masajid. Pigs. And that when somebody calls the adhan, they would mock them. And these are supposedly a part of the Muslim nation. But he knew the truth. He led an army detachment to the areas of the Alawis and forced them to pray. He killed the pigs and he showed them that Muslims will not tolerate this kufr. These are the same people who are today ruling Syria. For more than 50 years, the Alawi, Shia, Nusayris of Syria, despised even by the other Shia, called disbelievers by the Iranian Ja'fari Shia. Unbelievable, isn't it? How bad are you being a Shia if the Shia, the largest group of Shia in the world, call you a kafir, a disbeliever? They inflicted so much damage on the Muslims of Syria, on Islam, fighting Islam and Muslims for decades and decades. We the Palestinians, those among us who suffered under the Jews, because I haven't, we know the story of continued oppression by a group that doesn't belong. The invaders, the Jews, the Alawis, they're invaders. They don't belong there. And the killing that they did, so many Muslims were either unaware or not interested to even learn about what these people did to the Muslims of Syria. Do you know that since the so-called Arab Spring started, in Syria alone about 600,000 Muslims were killed? In Palestine, Gaza, 45,000, 600,000 in Syria. We have to mention our brothers and sisters in Syria. Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Palestine comprise Al-Ard Al-Muqaddasa, the Holy Land, not only Palestine. Horrible things they did to the Muslims there. If they could kill 600,000, cause the expulsion of 8 million Muslims in Syria, 4 of them outside the country, 4 million inside, and they invited those criminal Ja'fari Iranian Shia who called the Alawis kuffar to come do to Syria what the Jews did to us in Palestine. They come to an area, violence, killing, the people leave, they took over their farms and homes. They wanted to occupy and settle Syria. And what can we say? I'm not talking today about the Arab Spring, because it wasn't a spring at all. I'm talking about what's happening today in Syria. As hopefully you know, that finally those groups in Syria that they kept doing and fighting with each other, or competition at a minimum, decided to work together. And the leadership, according to them, decided to get away from Al-Qaeda and ISIS, these murderous groups who brought disasters everywhere they went, including in Syria, attacking the Sunnis whenever there is a struggle with the Alawis, so that the Alawis win. They decided to get away from that. I hope they do. For Allah's sake, get away from those groups. They are a disaster. Everywhere they went, it's loss, death, destruction, and the Christians come and occupy everywhere they went. So the news is they decided to get rid of this ideology. Please stick to that. Cleanse your armies or your soldiers or your whatever it is you want to call those armed people you have from those ISIS and Qaeda. Kick them out and kick out their creed and ideology that brought disasters from the day they started this group. So they're saying that they come together and they attacked the second from Idlib. They attacked the second or the first, according to some other reports, the largest city with regards to population in Syria, Halab. Not Aleppo, it's Halab. Then they took over Hama, many other areas, including the army bases in Hama. Because those Alawis, they thought they're staying. They invited the Russians, the Iranians, and Hizb al-Mut'ah, Hizb al-Shaytan, Hizbullah, to come, and they killed so many Muslims. Hezbollah that didn't send one soldier to help their allies, the leadership of Hamas, not all Hamas, the leadership didn't send one soldier into Palestine to help relieve what's happening to Gaza. They did send like 20 to 30,000 soldiers to kill Muslims in Syria. Those commoners, so-called Sunnis, you looked away for so long. Did you know all these decades what the Alawis and their allies did to the Muslims in Syria? Haram. All the death, destruction, jail, torture. So finally they say, let's work together. They go from Idlib to Halab, from Halab to Hama, at a time when it is suitable for them to do that. The war in Ukraine, which is something I called for, and people were criticizing me, why do you want the West to give more weapons to Ukraine? To drain the energy of Russia so that they don't attack us? Think about it. The proof is now. The Russians are thinking of leaving Syria and closing the bases they have there because they need the weapons to go kill Ukrainians. See? It's a war of attrition. At the same time, the West is draining money and weapons. So the northwest, where Russia exists, close to them were these people in Idlib. From Idlib, they went to Halab, then to Hama. They came together. They said, we're not following the way of Al-Qaeda. They're even assuring people who are not Muslims, like the Shia, the Druze, and the Ismailis, that they're not gonna, take revenge on them, and that they're safe, and they are going towards Damascus. The Alawis are feeling that. We had Russia. Russia is busy in Ukraine. They're gonna leave us to our fate. Hezbollah, the Jews exterminated the leadership of Hezbollah and killed so many of their fighters. And Hezbollah surrendered. So, like I said, they didn't send one soldier to Palestine, tens of thousands of soldiers to kill Muslims in Syria. Now they say, now we're going to be supporting them. You didn't have. You didn't have the same strength you had a few years ago. Iran has been hit very hard by the Jews. And every time you hear me say that hit very hard by the Jews, it's actually the West who are doing everything. The technology, the weapons, the money, the intelligence. It's the West. It's the West. Israel is just a little commercial enterprise that the West started in the middle of the Arab world. Iran is not in the mood of helping anything because their ally who was doing the killing and being killed, Hezbollah, has been hit very hard. Iran was hit very hard by the Jews. And now they are telling their murderous people who killed so many Muslims in Syria to back up and go back to Iran. Get out. Here is my advice to you, brothers and sisters. Number one, please invoke Allah for people of Islam in Syria to overcome the Khawarij, the Qaeda, and ISIS ideology, to get out of that. These people are losers. To take back what Imam Ibn Taimiyyah started centuries ago, the Imam Shaykh al-Islam, from the murderous Alawis, Shia, disgusting sect. We'll talk about them later, inshallah, about their religion, that they don't kill women or children, and they are saying they're not going to do that. In fact, the number of deaths so far is less than 1,000. We don't want any attack on civilians. Please don't do it, because Allah made it haram. Because if you want Allah to help you this time, because you hit at a time when all of the people involved in Syria are weak, and America under Obama said to the Syrians, go to the streets, go to the streets. You went to the streets, they're killing you. Oh, ma salama, goodbye, take care of yourself. We'll just stay here for some kind of oil stuff, and our Kurdish people and all the people that we have in concentration camps under the guise that they are ISIS. So Iran is weak. Syria is weak. Bashar al-Assad used to be the king of Lebanon. Now he is the servant of Hezbollah, Hizb al-Mut'ah, Hizb al-Shaytan. Hizb al-Shaytan, Hizb al-Mut'ah, Hezbollah has been hit very hard. They surrendered to the Jews. They're not in the mood of fighting anymore. They don't have it even. Iran has been hit very hard and economically under the mullahs. Don't wake up in the morning and say to yourself, I don't have enough money, that job is not paying. Let me go to an area where the mullahs are running the economy, because it's only one direction. Russia, they have to take the weapons to kill more of their own fellow Slav Christians. So it is an opportunity that represented itself to these people, and the way they did it, very fast, very quickly, and they said they're not going to target civilians. This is, for me, assuring me, Asham is the blessed land. The Palestinians, always, we had the support from Syria, and of course from Egypt. The Syria is a part of us. During the time of the Crusaders, Nuruddin Mahmud, who Imam Ibn Taimiyyah used to call, that the scholar used to call him Nuruddin al-Shahid, the martyr, he fought. He fought the Crusaders until he was martyred, bi'idhnillah. He's the one who sent Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, not Saladin, it's not a type of salad, to Egypt. And then he came back and defeated the Crusaders. So Syria, Syria has always been in our hearts. Like all Muslim areas, how they supported Islam and Muslims when they fell under the Shia, how they supported all kind of people who are coming to hurt Islam and Muslims. All kind, they always fought against the Muslims with the kuffar. So it is an opportunity now. I really advise the leadership, if they hear about me, I don't know, please kick out anyone remaining with you from Al-Qaeda and from ISIS. These people are losers, killers of Muslims. You don't need them, you need Allah. And to assure Allah's aid, make your target to establish an Islamic society and government in Egypt. Not nationalistic. You don't need to say that. Nationalistic, to appease whoever. Just Islamic society. This is a Muslim country. No one in the world has any business telling them what kind of religion they can follow and practice. Don't kill women and children, for Allah's sake. Don't kill women and children. Don't kill women and children and civilians. The Alawis, tell them, either you stay here, the civilians among you are not going to punish you. You can stay here, or you can go to another country, help them. And stay away from killing, violence that's indiscriminate. And let's take back Dimashq. This is something that Ibn Taimiyyah started centuries ago. Let's finish the job with the least violence, with people who are Muslim, Sunni. They're not Khawarij. They're not nationalistic. We need them back. Palestine, look at our situation. We need Syria back. And the Jews now feel the danger. So they're putting armies in what? Al-Jalal, the Golan Heights that they stole in 1967 from Syria. It happens that the leader of this current movement now, his name is Al-Jawlani, from Al-Jawlan. So the Jews are saying, this is different. This is not our cousins, the Shia, who've been talking skirmishes here and there because, we're fighting for dominance here and there. They never fought us, really. These people, they take over Syria. You have 10, 15 million Muslims now, and maybe the 8 million who left, they'll come back, hopefully. So, inshallah, things are better. We always give support to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Defending their life and honor is their right, especially in Syria. And I hope the people there will do it very quickly, with the least blood possible, away from the ideology of the ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Let me end with this. Those who are telling me, asking me, what should we do? Brothers and sisters, Syria has between 18 to 20 million Muslims. When I say Muslims, I mean not Shia, not Druze, not Ismailis, not Alawis, not whatever, Muslims. They don't really need the manpower. And it looks that they don't really need the manpower. Look what they did in a few days. May Allah give them support and keep them on the straight path, because this is the only way they can gain victory from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers, stay where you are. You don't need to go there. You have no idea who's fighting where. And since it has to be that some of those elements who killed Muslims from the Qaeda and other people and ISIS, they still may be among those soldiers. You have no idea where you're going to go. If you're going to end up with people who are going to go back to killing Muslims, you don't want to be that. The Syrians, inshallah, don't need us. They need our dua, invocation. Stay where you are. And hope, inshallah ta'ala, this will finish quickly. Think as I thought years ago, that I might go to Halab, buy a little piece of land and live there, because this is our land, Sham, and all Muslims are encouraged to go there and do that, to help the economy, inshallah, when they win, to help them with money, to help them with support and your voice here and promoting Islam. Ya Muslims, they don't need you. Stay here. If you have a family, for Allah's sake, don't leave your family in the pretext, I'm gonna go help some other family, because your family comes first. You have parents, you're taking care of them, don't leave them. This is not what Rasulullah ﷺ allowed during his time, and they need us in many capacities. Support, dua, defending them, reminding them to follow the path of Islam, the good way of the Sunnah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help them, give them victory over Al-Assad. Like his father, like his son, they killed so many Muslims. Hamah, his father killed 20 to 30,000 Muslims there in the early 1980s. And these people, they have no humanity in them. And in reality, they are Jews. They are. Look, the Jews did not really fight them. They could have defeated Hezbollah a long time ago, and Hafez al-Assad and Bashar al-Assad, but they're keeping them because they are a knife in the heart of Asham area. The biggest area of Asham is Syria. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them aid and support. Do whatever you can to support them. Don't go there. They don't need you. What they need is your sincerity. Inshallah, they'll win. Look, they're showing some kind of unity now. They're saying we're keeping away from those ideologies that brought us disasters before. And they did progress very quickly, mashallah. They took weapons, and as for the Arab and Muslim countries, your day with Allah will come one day. And then you have to answer for what you have done to those people whom you rule, seeing Muslims being killed and everything that matters to you, that I'm staying until I see the angel of death. I'm staying in my power. Help your Muslim brothers and sisters there. And what can I say? So brothers and sisters, you're asking me, no, don't go there. You don't know where you're going, how to get there. They don't need you. Syria has so much talented people. The Syrians who are in Europe and America now, you should work hard. Go back to your homes. Try to help whatever you know how and however you can. And you should go back home once, inshallah, they win. But for us, we can hope only that they win. We have to make da'wah here. And this is a jihad. Helping them, supporting them is also a type of jihad. And our staying here means that they have people they can count on in other areas in case they need help. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the kuffar, said about the kuffar, fighting the kuffar, said in the Quran that the Muslims should not all of them fight at the same time. Because obviously, if they win, then they'll finish all the Muslims very quickly. Syria, with so many bad news we've been getting, it's a good way to wake up in the morning. And inshallah, they will win. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. We'll try to give you information as much as possible. This is a quick video, meaning just to offer our support and the stance that never changed, that we stand with our Muslim brothers and sisters everywhere. Next, after this one, inshallah, I'm going to talk about the history of Syria in some detail so that we understand how we got here. Oh Allah, help our Muslim brothers and sisters in Syria and everywhere else. Jalal Abualrub, Jalal Abualrub, islamlife.com, islamlife.com, from Palestine, from the West Bank, from the city of Jenin. Inshallah, Syria will be in our hands soon.